Hello, guys. It's been a while since I've been on here, but I want to introduce to you guys an awesome lady. Her name is Sarah Kathleen Sullivan. I told you guys I would eventually get her on here. She's been very busy. That's why it took so long to get her on here. Between all her movies, which I will allow her to discuss anything and everything that she feels like discussing. You guys got any questions? Hit me up on Facebook, Amanda Webb. Hit her up on Sarah Kathleen Sullivan or Gerald Sullivan on her Facebooks. All right, Sarah, what do you think about things that are going on in this industry right now?
Well, I just wanted to say, hey, first of all, to all my friends and my fans who have become friends, and that I also want to say happy belated Thanksgiving and happy holidays and good cheers and all that. Anyways, um, what I think about everything going on right now is the word that comes to mind is honestly just despair, sadness, despair. People losing as you know, I'm from Houston, so this Astro World thing has become a big deal here and a big deal everywhere, of course, because it's always a big deal when people lose their lives. Um, I actually feel, is that what you were talking about for what's going on? Are you talking about everything in general?
Everything in general, from your projects to the recent events that has been big talk lately of the Astro World incident.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant current events. Okay. I just want to say before I talk about my movies, that my heart goes out to the victims, and as well as people who didn't necessarily understand or did understand what they were doing, but didn't foresee the circumstances, and who are now paying major repercussions for that. I feel for them too, and I'm sure you know who I mean. Which movie would you like to dive into first?
Well, there's been a lot of buzz about the Decade of Ravens. What's it going to take to
One Tree Hill?
Yeah, get it?
That's right. Okay, so basically, we are doing a reboot of One Tree Hill with me and Samantha Goldberg, who is absolutely amazing and one of my dear friends. And we are rebooting the series 10 years into the future when they are actually in college. And we are trying to set it right now. We're in talks with Duke University for basketball, and as well as Savannah, like the School of Arts, and the regular locations of the original show. We want this to be as original as possible, although we do recognize that the characters are all going to be a lot older than they were than when the series started initially. As some of y'all, if you're not familiar with One Tree Hill, it is an amazing show that you should get familiar with. There are 9 series. We are using the children from Sophia Bush, Hillary Burton, and whatnot. So their names are like Sawyer Scott and Madison and Chuck, and they're going to be all grown up and in college. And we're going to start the show with maybe their high school graduation. I can't give away too many spoilers for any of the shows that I talk about today. And I can't stress that enough. I've actually gotten in trouble already for giving away too many spoilers. But what y'all need to know is that you need to watch. It is going to be amazing. The characters are going to show a depth and a personality that is going to captivate the audience. You're absolutely going to love it. We have an amazing cast assembled. This is a mouthful, and it really honestly doesn't mean as much as you might think. I mean, it does. I'm not trying to minimize any dreams, but me, myself, I am a director, a casting director, an actress, a model, a singer, a promoter, um, what else? A rapper. Rap is my first love, and songwriting, and basically just writing in general. So there are a lot of projects for me, and sometimes I get a little ADD and I jump from one thing to another. Right now, I'm actually a casting agent for a project with Matthew Campbell that he actually wants to keep under wraps, so I won't talk about that, but it's very exciting. I'm also starring in a movie by Damon King as the main actress, which would be the FBI agent. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little off topic because you asked me about One Tree Hill. I just don't want to give away too much. I
understand you're also trying to get in the process of obtaining certain rights that you have to do.
Yes, that's right. I actually got hit back by, I think it was either Mike Collins or Bob Davola. It's okay to say this on air because it's already been put out there, but if Mark Schwann is still the creator of the show, I would prefer my manager, Cassidy Michael Frank Torres from Sun Studios Arizona, to go ahead and solidify things with him due to allegations that came out of his treatment of the women on the cast and the misogyny and even worse that they face. I'm not going to speak on it because it's not my place to, but everybody knows that he lost House of Cards after, and it is just I would rather talk to someone like Sophia Bush or Antoine Tanner. But if he owns the rights and he is the creator, we will get the rights. We will talk to him.
And I understand that sometimes it takes things down the road. And if you guys are wondering about Sun Studios, you can go to their website at www.sunstudiosaz.com.
It's also shared on my page under my fashion line.
Speaking of the fashion line, how is it coming so far?
I have had some orders for requests put in already, especially like right now it's a lot of family members of the models we featured, and it is actually going great. People love the designs. We are collaborating with Chase the Moments Visual Arts. We will be putting our clothes in his store and vice versa.
Speaking of modeling, you also have another show that you were in the process of writing. Am I correct?
Model-elect Making the Cut Miami, where there will be, thank you, there's so many that it's hard to talk about, and I love One Tree Hill, so my head's still wrapped up there. The modeling show is 10 males and 10 females living together, and I have been very fortunate to have very beautiful friends to where casting hasn't been like a total nightmare. Anyways, basically, it's going to be in Miami. It's called Model-elect Making the Cut Miami. Everyone's going to live together. They are going to intern at our company, where Amanda here is also the vice president and manager of the stores, and also the president of the fashion line, along with me and whatnot. She's the CEO, as all these designs are basically her graphics after I sent her pictures. She is an amazing designer, and I'm sorry, that has to be recognized before I say anything else. But anyways, the modeling show, yeah, we're choosing that. It's going to be probably, I said Miami, but I'm looking at houses at real estate in Palm Beach, thanks to James Edwards, who is trying to executive produce our show and invest in my fashion line. We have a good amount of real estate to look at. Now, 20 people is a lot. But there's 5 winners, guys and girls, no discrimination at all, and every winner gets a place at our company. And it's going to be amazing and epic and exciting, and honestly, I wish I could live in Dallas. I can't wait.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say James Edwards, but there's several other investors that have.
He's investing in the fashion line, and the fashion line is directly tied to where our models will be working. So, yeah, he's still in the running. We have some business issues to iron out with our investors and financiers and whatnot, but everything is coming along nicely. What did she say?
But you also have, like, more things that have even really gained more spotlight over the years as you've been finalizing the details between, what is it, Evil in Plain Sight and Angel Warriors?
Yes, I was just about to bring that up. Angel Warriors is a true story. It is about my niece and nephew, and I will go ahead and talk about it now, since I am ready, I have been putting off press and everybody else who has wanted to hear. First of all, it's all over the internet. If you type in Sarah Sullivan and like Amory Sullivan and Thomas Sullivan, or just Conroe child abuse, it will pop up. My niece and nephew were beaten they were actually beaten to death. They were revived. Amory had about 15 to 20 surgeries. They were 2 and 3 years old. Tommy is a permanent vegetable. He's in a coma. They were perfect. They are perfect, but just beautiful, full of life. It happened during Hurricane Harvey, about 2 days before I was supposed to go to Academy of Art University in San Francisco, and the storm hit and they grounded the flights, and I wasn't able to get to San Francisco, but I'm glad I wasn't, because this happened. My little brother is the biological father who is currently incarcerated, and I don't know what happened. They were staying at a trailer. I was not there, and I guess Amory and Tommy were screaming and crying because they are afraid of the rain, and they were beaten into being quiet and kicked repeatedly. The stories on the internet are pretty graphic. They show the pictures. I have a report of all the injuries for both babies. Amory was sexually assaulted as well. She's only 3 years old. Tommy was not taken. They were not only abused, they were neglected. They were not taken to the hospital for maybe 3 to 5 days after, until Adam's mother, Adam Thomas, is the one who did it, which was Denise's boyfriend at the time. Unfortunately, Denise is the biological mother. She is the one who dated my little brother for 7 years. The movie itself follows the journey of the babies, and I'm not going to say my little brother's perfect. It portrays everything as accurately as possible, from the journey to the police, the homicide detectives, which I want to give a big shout out to. Thank you so much for solving this case. I know that you ran into trouble with my little brother, and my family was hard on you guys, but we were just mourning. So, and Tommy had about a 2% chance of living, and they brought him back to life. We had 1 billion prayer chains, and this is actually the way I got to know even more people in order to become a casting agent for my own movies. I would love to talk about Evil in Plain Sight, but I don't think we're done talking about this one. Amanda, do you have any questions about this do you think that are pertinent to the audience?
As far as Angel Warriors, I know it's a case-sensitive material, and I know there's some things that you would like to share, but you really can't, due to, well, those that are involved. And
no, I can share whatever. I can really share whatever I want. Denise got 20 years, and she testified against Adam, and he got 2 life sentences, and he can't start serving his second until he serves his first.
But would you say that these unfortunate events is what kind of helped spark you getting into wanting to share your story, and maybe even wanting to help like different charities involving?
Actually, no. My little brother and Denise, ironically, when the show ended for One Tree Hill, and we were sitting around smoking, not gonna lie, I like to do that, and I didn't want it to end, so I was kind of complaining about it a little bit. My little brother was like, well, if you don't want it to end, write your own. And I was like, well, what do you mean that's not possible? And he's like, well, what are you talking about? You're the best writer I know, and you don't want the series to end, and you know all the characters, so go ahead and do it. So I was already working on that, but I was working on it as a book series. I've been working with trafficking charities to end human trafficking since college, because my major was psychology and criminology and forensic psychology, getting into the actual profiling and the heads of serial killers. So I would say that Evil in Plain Sight, what happened with Angel Warriors is we got wind that Lifetime was going to make that a movie, and I was already partners with Connie Kinzer, aka Mama Bear. She's from Detroit. She's awesome. I already had friends like Catherine Norland and Candace McAdams. And I was like, no, they're not going to tell this story because I knew they wouldn't do my brother justice. So I was like, let's just take it. Let's do it. We have Michael Green is our director from M2GG Films. Shout out to him. He's an award-winning director. He's amazing. So what happened with Angel Warriors? I understand your question, and you could say that, but I wouldn't, because basically with Angel Warriors, we were in the process already of Evil in Plain Sight, and I was already in the process of a book series. And I was like, wait a second, I am a screenwriter. I'm not going to let Lifetime do this. I'm going to write it myself. It's my family. And that's how I got like Ava Seha to play me, and we got some amazing people like Noah Lindbergh at first. It depends on her schedule now. Vincent Farr, Eric Clausen, Sean Guerrero, Jimmy Chiapelli, Rick Viper. I know I'm naming people you already know, so I know that's a little tedious because we're friends with them. We talk to them every day, but I just wanted the public to know. But with your question, what it did is it lit a fire in me. It made my passion become more clear for my work, and that led to me producing and actually becoming an amazing producer. And now I'm also directing, but I would never. I see what you're saying. My niece and nephew gave me the strength and the passion I needed, mostly because at the time I was so heartbroken, and I don't want to lie to the public. There were at least 2 or 3 suicide attempts during this time period on my end, which is so stigmatized that people don't want to talk about, but I want to talk about it. I'm starting a channel for mental health for people in the industry. I've saved like 11, 12 lives with just my words for mental health in the industry. People don't seem to realize how horrific it is right now. But I'm sorry I'm getting off topic.
No, it's okay.
Your question, yes and no. It made my passion burn brighter, but I was already in the work doing that, if that makes sense.
That's understandable. Wouldn't you say, though, I mean, this pandemic even sparked another film that you did, The Day the World Stopped, or what you're in the process of?
Oh my gosh, Amanda, you're awesome. I love you. Yes, The Day the World Stopped is basically everyone submitting their videos of answering about 17 to 20 questions. They can choose not to answer a few of them. And we got some amazing actors to send in their videos. Now, this is not to be confused with another one that's out there where he was, you know what, I'm not going to get into that. This one was specifically for COVID-19, and every dollar goes to the nurses who are affected by it. And all they do, they talk about their experience, they talk about their anxiety, they talk about how they've stayed busy, they talk about their creativity, what songs they've done. We chose a very select list of people, and then they self-tape themselves answering the questions that I asked, and we put it all together, and we have a trailer, and it's called The Day the World Stopped. And that is the first thing I have had a hand in directing. So I know some people ridicule the video, but Rick Viper did as much as he could.
Amazing. He did an awesome job in the short amount of time that he did it in, that he had time to do, because I know he was also fixing to do some other things that, like with Jay-Z.
I think he has things with, I think, Jay-Z, Morgan Freeman, Samuel Jackson. I mean, we have some big names that we are working with, and
especially with Sean Guerrero in his movie. You've heard about the Hidden Garden movie. What do you think about it?
I think it sounds amazing, just like everything Sean does. Sean is a musician like myself. Sean was also an original on One Tree Hill for just a guest spot. So is Vincent Farr. We're bringing them back for One Tree Hill, along with Antoine, who played Skills. He was very famous. Obviously, he was on all of them. He's also from Coach Carter. We would love to bring back Sophia Bush and Clay Buckley and Stephen Coletti and James Lafferty and Chad Michael Murray. But we are
if I'm really interested as like a director, investor, producer, maybe just an innocent bystander that runs across this podcast and thought, man, I want to jump on this. How can I help? How do they get a hold of you? What is best?
Which one? Now we're
Any of them.
Any of them, all you have to do is DM me. I am not picky or selective with who I talk to. I do vet everyone. So does my manager. We check out work. We check out, ratings and everything else. We go and watch the video reels. And I personally get feelings about people, gut instincts on whether or not they're going to not only be a good actor, but mesh with our cast. So when I vet someone, I do it thoroughly, and if I like them, they get a spot. Even if they are not SAG, they'll end up with a guest spot, like a featured guest spot, which means you get your face shown, and then like the other extra ones, you're in it, but like your face isn't shown. So I try to do like featured spots for people who don't get picked from my cast.
And if I'm wanting to donate money to, will there be a way for me to eventually donate money, maybe on like an Indiegogo or some other?
I actually, honestly, the films cost so much money, but maybe I'll do that. But right now, it's been talking to investors and financiers. I have some friends that are really well off, but right now it has been a trial getting executive producers.
I know the thing is so finicky with the industry because of the ups and downs and the
people have the money and we will not be touching a penny of anything until we start filming. Like, make no mistake, they're all going into escrow. As far as starting a GoFundMe account, it's just a little hard for me to start an account when half the money is going to charity after we do the movie. It's hard, and pay back our investors. It's hard for me to ask for charity and then turn around. Do you understand what I'm saying? Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't thought that far out because I've had some really good investors, but most of them came from New Orleans. And they lost their houses. One of them lost their lives, and two of them have COVID. So, as far as investors go, I'm still on track. Things are getting a little shaky. So I am looking for executive producers. Pick the projects you like. I will talk to you more about it. We have covered 4 projects, 5 projects. There are more, but most of them are talk right now. So I think we talked. Are there any others you're curious about?
Your music. How's your music going?
My music is going great. I actually just cold turkey sent lyrics to Drake, and I don't know if I can talk about that or whatever. But I cold turkey just sent some verses, and he's like, "Who wrote that?" And it's like, well, obviously I did, or I wouldn't be sending it. Like, I didn't say it rude like that, but I told him, and we talked for a good few minutes, and he really liked it, and I am very excited to send more lyrics to people of his stature. I'm not going to name the musicians who I've talked to and worked with before in Houston or now because of privacy reasons and NDA, but just talking to Aubrey was great, and he was a very nice guy, and he was like, you're really cool, and I was like, you're really cool. And as far as music goes, like, songwriting is always going to be my forte, but I am very good at freestyling, and my voice.
How about you bust out a freestyle real quick?
You know what? I could do that, but it might fall flat because I don't know where I'm going with that. Amanda's on the thing, and I'm going whack, and then I go, I gotta hop back because this is lame, and I don't know what I'm doing. But then I go out. Well, I'm not screwing because I'm not a hoe, and you already know. I don't know where I'm going, but I just decided to bust the flow. You already know that this isn't going anywhere, and this flow sucks. So when it comes to flows, Amanda, shut up and ask me another question because you are a hoe, because you already know that this one sucks. So let's just go and do another one.
All right. First of all, I'm not a hoe. I'm actually a girl with class.
You, girl. It's just a flow.
I can go just as hard as you know. All right, now who's the one that sucks? You're looking at me.
What are you talking about? Oh, I guess that was your attempt at a flow. I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch it. But mine kind of sucked too. Maybe we should edit it out.
We're just having fun. This is really not our serious, guys. We're not really serious.
Yeah,
We're just
guys,
jiving.
when we work, we're serious, and we have our materials, and we have whatever it is. And make no mistake, we work hard. But both me and Amanda have anxiety very bad, and also, do you mind if I talk about it? Like, I have anxiety and like
you can
depression.
And I know that does sometimes affect work relationships, and I know sometimes it makes it hard sometimes, isn't it?
Like crazy. Before I sing, usually, like, or do piano for a night, I'm taking about 5-6 shots, and my anxiety medicine, and then getting up there. And what sucks about that is people will be like, "Oh my God, you were so good," and I don't actually remember my own performances. I do remember hearing that Adam Levine from Maroon 5 used to be so shy and awkward about the audience and the sheer amount of people that he would actually face the other way and perform. And that is something that once I'm actually up there and singing and I'm in my mode, it's like completely like, all about there. I hope that doesn't sound conceited, but like I'm a great performer. Getting up there, like especially the speech. Like I got an A in speech in college, but I took it last. And I took everything I could. I was like, well, what about this one? Like, do you have any like culinary ones? Like I ran out of classes. And then I was Sullivan, you have to take speech, and I really didn't want to. And then I took it, and I was amazing at it. And our class was very close knit because I don't know if you know this, but in college, speech classes are always close to each other. Like the people become friends because everybody is facing the same phobia, if that makes sense. And it's actually the most common phobia in the world, next to heights and spiders and whatnot. It is number one, speaking in public or performing.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about on the subject between depression?
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me?
Yeah, about depression. Like, how do you deal? Like, I mean, I know it's hard showing your face sometimes at times because of other things, but like.
Oh yeah, I have body dysmorphic disorder, so that's something I would like to touch on during my podcasts when I talk about mental health. But right now, I will say that I listen to my favorite music. I'm not gonna lie, I'll smoke a little bit. Like, it's legal here now, so. But I don't encourage substance use. I'll read my favorite book. I will take a long, hot bath. I will I will actually write down my favorite memories and then go to my Facebook, look at the pictures, and then write down like where I was, what happened, who I was with, what boyfriend I had at the time. And just honestly, that really helps. And music and exercise. Exercise will increases your endorphins, and listening to your favorite song puts you in a great mood. They give you feelings that takes over your dopamine and serotonin levels. So before you reach for some ecstasy, try some exercise.
No wonder why you're Model Influential Awards a nominee. You're doing all these great, wonderful things.
Oh, I would love to win. I heard I got nominated like 6 times. That's insane, but I need some more followers on my Instagram, and I'm not the kind of person who gets on Instagram a lot because I'm not big on pictures, and I'm also not the kind of person to go pay for people to follow me. Like, it's like you either are my friend or you're not, and if you're not, good luck to you, but I don't care. And now I've realized that attitude might not be synonymous with the industry. And there are ways to grow, like algorithms, to grow your Instagram followers, but I'm not doing that. I'm just like, okay, whatever, follow me or not. It's at like 1,000 something. It's not a big deal because I'm never on it. But
I don't know who gets on Instagram anymore. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of cool things to get on Instagram about, it seems like, but to me it seems like
I know
it's all about who you want to pay to get to follow you, and it's like that shouldn't be how it should be.
Now, I've had a few really well known models. One's from Victoria's Secret, and I'm not going to say who, but they did tell me the way to grow it, and I did that for like a week, and then I was asked to be a brand ambassador, and I just wasn't big on doing that on top of everything else I do. Like, writing is my love. That's like, music is my first love. Without music, I'd probably be dead right now. And I think a lot of people feel that way. And like Selena Gomez, I'm one of those people that really, really cares about people. I will stay up all night with a total stranger if they are hurting or if they are going through something that nobody else will talk to them about. And through that, through being a certified victims advocate, which is something that I am proud of my saving lives and advocate just by my work with people. Words are powerful, and that might be that 8-year-old jumping on her roof and killing herself because she was bullied. Words hurt, and people have enough to deal with. You don't know what people are going through at home either. Like, you just see them at school or whatever. When I'm talking about teens right now, obviously, you see them and they look different, so you make fun of them. They're used to it, that's fine. Then they go home and you don't know their lives there. They probably get beat the second they walked in the door or molested. So people have enough to worry with without other people giving them crap. So in other words, like, stay in your own lane, mind your own business. Don't gossip and focus on yourself, and you'll feel a lot better. That's how I feel, because bullying is like the ultimate. I was never bullied, and I know my friends partook in it, and I made sure not to. I made sure to keep my mouth shut. I made sure to defend my friends, no matter whom it was.
That I can attest to, and you've used music in a way to defend your own friends. Can we talk about how you can diss people, just figuratively?
Yes, we can. We can. I have been writing little diss tracks since I was like 15. I don't want to contradict what I said by talking bad about people, but I'm the kind of girl that's had a lot of friends who were promiscuous at a younger age, and they got screwed over by certain guys, like literally and figuratively. And I started writing my rap when I was about 14, maybe 13, and then 14 I started doing like little flows about these guys that piss me off. Like, yo, my name's Brian, I'm hot as hell, yo, the only way I'll give it to you is if you're a nasty ass hoe. And I would and these guys were mainly from Humble, so I was like, well, I won't see them. And people started asking me to write flows, and the word got around, and the guys all surrounded me at a party. And I'm not gonna lie, I was scared. I was like 80, 90 pounds, like a little freshman, and these guys are like 300 and like seniors and 18, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting jumped. But I think Amanda means the flow that I wrote especially for her, for someone who was being a nasty troll, and I'm gonna let her tell that story.
Needless to say, that person deleted Facebook. We weren't necessarily trying to be really mean to her, but we were just raw and real and getting the point across that, hey, be careful, don't bully, because just because of a certain weight or a certain thing. And would you say it's sad to say that this does still happen in the industry, where people get talked about?
Amanda did a Christmas video, and she criticized it in a way that was very nasty, rude, and hurtful. And I was not standing for that, because Amanda is my best friend. So I wrote a diss in like 5-10 minutes, and I was like, what do you think, to Amanda? And she was like, holy shit.
Well, it's sad to say that it got taken down when it was a lot of figurative speech. And it's sad that Facebook wants to restrict those speeches of figurative language. Even music that you want to sing to, Facebook is muting what you want to do, even if you're just covering a song and you say you're covered. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Mark Zuckerberg has limited a lot of what I say, especially when it comes to Epstein. And
we don't have to talk about that, but far as other...
No, we don't have to talk about that. As far as Facebook goes and muting, I'm just going to say we are currently looking for other social media platforms, and there is a reason that I'm not saying I'm a celebrity. Y'all can say it if you want. No, I'm just kidding. But there is a reason that people that are celebrities either hide their name and there's definitely a reason why celebrities don't do Facebook and only have Instagram, because it is very invasive, and it also has rules where you're like, what the heck? Like, I posted something today and it was like, oh, this doesn't follow the rules of not being courteous, and it was a picture of a Miami hydrotherapy water massage spa, and it was like the outside, and I'm like, how the heck? Like, what is wrong? Like, now they're just making crap up. But I don't want to go too much on this subject because I don't want to get shut down like my ex-business partner, Carla Ford, who I will not speak about. But I won't speak about my business partners because, honestly, I've learned something from every one of them, and it took me a while to learn that. But I will say that currently, Samantha Goldberg has been a godsend. She is one of my closest friends. Bella Levy has been a godsend. She's extremely busy. Amanda is literally a godsend, which we could explain, but basically Amanda is like an angel. Like, literally, she wills things to happen, and she helps people no matter what, and she runs herself ragged sometimes doing it, but it's what gives her peace, and it also gives me peace to help everyone. So please reach out to me and Amanda anytime. I'm not gonna. Amanda works full time at Amazon. I'm a writer, so I get to pick my hours.
Plus, I'm a single mom. Plus, I help homeschool, even though I do have my grandparents that do help. I don't think there's a day off in this industry.
There never is, and there never will be. Hollywood will never. And not just that. Like, I mean, I also used to work for Dream Team Bookings with Ryan Gross. That's actually how I got started in this. Well, no, I got started when I worked concerts, Fly, Slim Thug, Lil TP, Lil Webby, Zero, Twista, in College Station, at Graham's, and on Northgate, and I actually got to meet them, and they liked my lyrics, and I ended up just meeting a ton of people to where the network kind of exploded. I was also really big into sports, and my roommates were dating the football players, Tony Hurd Jr. and Malcolm Kennedy, and I got to know, I was very fortunate to have the people in my life at the time that I had them, because every one of them led me to something great or taught me something.
Would you say, is there anything else you would like to say before we wrap?
Yeah, we need to wrap. My phone's about to die. I would like to say that kindness goes a long way, and so does prayer. And I know that sometimes I may come across as a little bitchy and bossy, but at the same time, that's probably not going to change because that's who I am. Okay, love you, love everyone. Peace out.
I want to say what you said, but you just come across a little strong.
Yeah, well, that's okay though. Like, I mean, everyone has flaws, and a lot of people at this point in the industry that I have had to fire because I talk things over.
I think he fired me like 5 times already and then hired me back, but that's just because, you're strong, you see a vision, and I think people, if they just look over some things and then just come back and talk to you again about things, then No,
Amanda, with you, it's literally just our friendship because we're best friends. But other people, it's an intelligent, informed decision. Kind of like what happened with the last person we had to let go, remember?
Oh,
Who's really good friends with Matthew McConaughey because he had a conflict with an actress that we have already cast, and who has been part of this project for months, and we really like her. Well, it turns out that they had been intimate, and it was not going to happen. So basically, I told him how it was, and I was very nice about it, and he came back with all this crap. I was like, look, I don't know why you think this is this and this, but you've been hired for literally 3 minutes, and you basically, I had to let him go, but I did it in a professional way. I think I did. Like, it was in a group chat, so everyone can say whether or not it was. Amanda, what do you think?
Well, you have come a long way.
When I first said it, yeah, I've come a long way when it comes to firing people. I used to just say, go F yourself.
All right. Yeah. Well, this kind of wraps it up. This is kind of a truth, raw, real, uncut. Sarah Kathleen Sullivan, you know how to hit her up. Is there an email that you want to give people?
Sure. It's Sarah Kathleen, SarahKathleen235
All right. Hit her up. If you got any business inquiries, want to just talk things out before making silly decisions, or you want to invest, just DM her on Facebook is the best way. But peace out.
You can vet me and check my reputation online and do whatever you want. And
talk to Cassidy too as our manager.
And Cassidy Michael Frank Torres. You can look on his page. He recently went to the $1 Million Mingle, and he's all excited about it. Me and him actually went together, but I only stayed for a little bit because it's pretty far from where I actually live, which right now is Houston, but I'm moving to Phoenix so I can work at this amazing studio. You guys everybody will love it that is in the industry. Game of Thrones was actually filmed there, like part of it. That's a claim to fame for the studio itself. They also offer classes and film, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm gonna let Amanda wrap it up. Sorry, girl.
It's all right. I know how we get to go, and we just talk.
Yeah, my phone's gonna die.
All right, talk to you later. You guys have a good night.